Woe is me, for I'm not having a good day today, to say the flipping least. Finally got all the bits and pieces together to assemble the Nano Goblin, and I thought I'd just sort of roughly lay out the components and see if I can get them to play together. And in the process, I think, well, I know that I've magic smoked 2 VTXs and 1 motor, so not a good start. So I shoved the new SN flight controller up in the back there. The speed controller is this little number here. It's a 12 amp, 18 amp max, I think 12 amp continuous, and I had it soldered up directly to the motor. And after I had soldered it up, I took the signal wire and power and earth wire to, or from I should say, from a servo tester, and the motor was running fine. It snatched a couple of times, like sometimes can happen, but I wasn't quite sure whether that was just because of the way I was doing it, but it powered up so I could make sure that I'd got it running the right direction, which I assume is clockwise looking from the back. Anyway, so that ran. So the next thing is I connected up the VTX. Now the VTX I've bunged under here. It's going to be here for cooling purposes, up the other way. That was the plan anyway, but I was fiddling around with it trying to select the right channel to get a picture on the camera, and suddenly there was a crack, a fizz, and of course the magic smoke came out. So actually, after having powered it down and having a look round, I assumed that what I'd done was shorted out part of the guts of it, because it was actually this one that I did first and it didn't have the heat shrink on, and I thought I shorted it out on the carbon spar because there's a perfectly good connection here, and by moving it around I couldn't see what else it could be, so I insulated that, got my nice shiny new brand new one out, which only arrived the other day, ready for this, and I've been waiting about 3 weeks for it. Connected it up and it lit up momentarily, and then all of a sudden magic smoke came out of that too. I couldn't believe it. So I'm hoping it hasn't messed anything else up, but I think the reason for it is because I had it connected up. I'll go over to this one here. These VTXs have two parts to the lead. That's the power to it, and I think they can go up to, I don't know, maybe 6S or something, but anyway, I was powering it, or I had intended to power it separately, but then when I looked at the instructions and I saw on here, sorry, on the instructions for the flight controller, it says 9V VTX with that yellow feed wire, or yellow signal wire I should say. I thought, well there you go then, that's the one coming out of the VTX. It's applying its earth feed and the signal, so that's all it needs. So I'd disregard that one and I'll put a Futaba cable on the end of this one, which I did, and plug it straight in. And of course what I've done, I'm pretty sure what I've done, is I've actually back fed this lead, this power here, this lead here with the 9V, which is actually not 9V because I've put my multimeter on it and I'm getting 11.5 volts out of my PMU, or out of the SNL for some reason. But anyway, either way, I was sending it up the power lead that's meant to be providing 5 volts out from the VTX to your camera. So I guess that's why I've smoked it. I can't believe I did it twice. What a wally. So there's 2 dead ones of those. I haven't got any more, and I'll probably have to wait ages to get them. So that was an easy cock up. Camera, that's fine, because that's just, I've got that one fed here to the Fox here, and that plugs into that particular camera lead, and the camera works. And those cameras can work up to, I don't know, certainly up to beyond 4S. It gets warm, but it works. So I thought, right, now it's just a case of setting up the SNL and the new CI, whatever it is, long range 2.4 transmitter and mini receiver. So I bound the two together, which was nice and easy. Connected it up, connected my trusty old TS832, or one of my VTXs, up in place of the ones I burnt out so I could get a picture. And I had the right setup screen menu come up for the SN flight controller. Fiddled and farted around with it and selected everything I needed, but I couldn't get the motor to go. So recalibrated the motor, tried it again, and then I realised that I had the motor kill switch off. So I hit that, and of course the throttle I hadn't realised was wide open. The motor, rather than running properly, it seemed to stutter and stall as if it was sort of jammed or misfiring almost, you know, which I've had happen before when you have bad connections on the leads. And then it suddenly ran, and then almost immediately poured out smoke and stopped. So I have no idea what happened there. There's nothing wrong with any of the leads. That was connected up, soldered up nicely onto there. What went wrong? I don't understand, because I had, as I said earlier, I had it running, bench tested it when I first soldered it up, but not through a flight controller or through the receiver, but just through a servo tester. So that's gutting. Yeah, so I don't know whether anybody's got any comments on that or any suggestions. Why did that motor burn out? That's the worry. I can understand what I've done to burn the AKKs out, so I can avoid that. But if I shove another motor on there, what's to say I'm not going to burn that one out? It's peculiar. Anyway, I'll bung it on a few of the forums, and hopefully somebody there might better help. There's another query here. This little wire that comes from the camera, which is meant to be a voltage sensor wire. I've got a couple of these Fox ears, and I don't see the point in them, because they read the voltage anyway. So what are you meant to do with that? Or is that as if you want to take the voltage reading from somewhere else? I just want to know flight pack voltage. No, I suppose. No, I don't understand. No. Anyway, maybe somebody can spread some light on that. I'm not too bothered about it. But I'm several steps backwards now. I'm just glad I didn't stick this top on here, so I can access bits and pieces still. I've taped it. I'm going to leave it taped. I don't think I'm ever going to glue it on. So that's going to be the plan. Well, the plan was antenna out that side, receiver 2.4 receiver is going to be out further out on the wing, camera up front, the GPS it's so heavy I can't take it too far out, but it's on the sort of, or very almost near on the CG mark, as is the PMU, which is quite heavy, so I'm going to have that buried in there. Hopefully it'll be a little slightly cooled, as will the VTX when I've finished with it. And then I might even get a chance to see what these little things are like. Anyway, over and out from a disgruntled Drambuie.